Well, hello.
Hi. I didn't even get to say my fade me in, baby.
You had time.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Here we are.
Yeah. I like the countdown.
Okay.
You like the countdown?
No,
Why not?
I don't know. Just seems
Because
so.
you were watching it instead of thinking about fading me in.
I don't
Baby.
know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like everybody does it. Like it's not a us thing.
Is that an us thing?
Uh-uh.
We don't do it every time.
No.
Gives me time to get situated.
Okay.
Yeah. It does.
Oh goodness. So, like, just been in the throes of life, trying to figure out how to be successful, how to continue to move forward, right?
Yeah, I think we're always going to be trying to figure that out.
Right.
I've been trying to figure it out my whole life.
Me too. What do you think makes our relationship successful?
Sounds like a loaded question.
When do I ever trap you with questions?
I don't know.
Now. Whatever. Whatever.
Communication.
Okay. What sort? Because there's like what? There's actual verbal communication. Then there's
See, I wasn't going to be able to get off with just a simple answer. That's exactly what I was referring to. Told you.
Whatever.
Communication.
That's why our relationship makes it.
Yeah. Without communication, you wouldn't know the other things that lead from that.
Right.
There are other things, yeah, but communication is the front line.
Yes. First and foremost. And I think the second thing that leads behind that is understanding.
I feel huge.
I feel huge.
Look at me in this couch. I feel like I have to like lean back.
I mean,
that
yeah.
makes me look bigger, I guess.
Yeah, lean into the camera. That's supposed to thin you out.
Okay.
Hi. Maybe not.
That's why I said I feel like I gotta lean back so I don't look so big.
Now you just look long.
Yeah, I know. Whoa. Sorry, guys. It's been a while since I've been on TV. I forgot how to do this.
Agreed.
I want to get back on TV a lot.
Me too.
I like it.
Me too.
Tired of looking at this stuff and not using it.
Mm-hmm.
Although I have been using it, I just haven't been using it. That makes sense. I've been playing with the settings on cameras for a couple days.
Learning new things. Do you want to talk about relationship stuff? What do you want to talk about?
I don't care. I'm just here to talk.
Yeah. I think going into 2024, people have a lot of resolutions.
Yeah.
And I think that probably like working on relationships is probably one of them, or even getting into a healthy relationship, like moving on past unhealthy relationships.
Yeah.
And I told you the other day, I saw in one of the divorce groups that I'm in some bullshit that I didn't agree with. That was for every...
Sure, let's talk about that bullshit.
Yeah. So for every 4 years that you're in a toxic relationship, and this is from a book, somebody took a picture of a book, highlighted some things in it, and the highlighted takeaway thing was you should heal. And I agree with that. You should heal. But I think there's a different healing based off of the two people in or the relationship. When you get a divorce, typically there's one person that wants it and one person that doesn't. And I think typically, and I think
not always the case, but yes.
Not always the case, no. But and that's why. So basically, I feel maybe there's 3 different types of healing. There's the healing from the person that's like, I don't want this divorce, who's in denial. Then there's the person that's like, this is over and has been for a minute. And then there's the healing of the people who are both like, yeah, this is not working for us. Like,
They're both like, it's been over for a minute.
Yeah, they're both on the same page of this isn't working. And we need to figure this out and we need to separate and go ways.
I didn't realize that even existed until I really started my divorce. I didn't realize that there were people that could agree
to separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I feel like there's a lot of there's different healing, right? And I think this book was trying to generalize all three categories into one. Basically, the mathematical equation that the author came up with from this book was for every 4 years that you're in a toxic relationship, you should be in 0 relationship for 1 year.
Yeah, bullshit.
I called BS on it. I was like, so you're meaning to tell me that I should have been in 0 relationships for 4.5 years. I think that makes you lonely and bitter.
I don't think anybody gets to tell you what to do.
No.
And then I've always kind of lived my life that way since I was a teenager.
Yeah, and still do to this day. But
yeah, but somebody trying to put a number out there for the general public.
Yeah.
And say this is a standard of which you need to set if you're going to get divorced. You shouldn't see anybody.
I'm not supposed to move on with my life and be happy with
scaring
myself.
The person to staying into the relationship.
Yes. Yes. Okay. And I will also say that regardless of the data you are looking for, with enough research, you will find information to support. You will find the data to support whatever view you want.
Mm-hmm.
You will find it. And I think so much so that somebody was like, I'm going to be single, and they created the data themselves. Like, that's what I felt like. Because here's the deal. Like, yes, there are rebound relationships when you enter a divorce. Absolutely, there are those situations. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, like, you should be in no relationship. I feel like it takes relationships to figure out who you are.
Yes.
And who you're not.
Well, and going through a divorce, for those of you that haven't, and there may be those of you that might just be starting this process.
Right.
But you're going to lose relationships through this process.
So many.
And so you will need to create new ones no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're intimate or not.
Right.
You're going to start new relationships.
Yes. There's going to be so many people who walk away from you like, this is too much, I can't. Or at least that's what I felt like the case was. Going through a divorce really taught me how to be a better friend.
Yeah. Or to not be one at all.
Right.
Certain people.
Right. Yeah.
Because it sets your standards for so many more things.
It does. It really, really does.
You start getting into the mindset of, I didn't need that person, so who is like that person that I don't need in my life?
Right. And from the outside looking in, it looks very chaotic and it makes people question. And you've seen this in my life.
I've seen it in mine. I've seen it in yours. I've seen it in friends. I've seen this happen.
Yeah.
I've seen this happen over and over and over.
People start cutting, like you start cutting when you enter into a divorce, you enter into that phase of like, I don't have to, oh my God, my life, I feel so much more at peace because I've cut this out. So then you start really analyzing and cutting. At least I did. And I think
everybody
started realizing and cutting. And it was really like, and to that, like now I'm in the phase of like, I'm not adding. I'm not seeking friendships. I'm not letting people get close. Like I
don't mind a friendship coming along and showing up if that's what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not seeking it.
No.
But I'm not going to cut it off. I'm not going to be like, no.
Yeah.
Doors closed.
Well, the hard part is it's like in my previous marriage, I never believed that you'd marry your best friend. I honestly didn't believe that. And I never felt that. I never genuinely felt like I could tell goofy stories or explain what was happening with like my body or like, you're never going to believe this. Like I never genuinely could open up to that person. And now that you and I are in this relationship and I genuinely get to be myself, you are my best friend. There's not, what was that, a seed?
Yeah. I put a
um,
lemon in my tea.
there's like, I think that too is also maybe it's not an issue, but it's something that I've identified that I'm like, I don't need a best friend role. And then it's like we talk about like I think about going like wedding dress shopping and stuff, and it's like I don't have any girlfriends really to take with me besides Lisa because you're my best friend. And I don't
I'll pick it out for you, honey.
I see and we would have a blast going dress shopping or tuck shopping, whatever. And I just have never had that before. And I think that it I'm closed off to that because it's like I really don't want to be that open with anybody else. I'm good.
Yeah.
And and then too, like your best friend, people tend to forget like you don't when you vent to your best friend about your spouse, those vents go to other rooms. So I feel like it's best if your spouse is your best friend because
It is best, but just like you just said, that doesn't happen for everybody.
it doesn't. And I think that if you're not married to your best friend, maybe you need to evaluate.
I think it works in different cases and different relationships because I've seen different types of relationships. So I feel like there is that type of thing that happens. And I don't think that all people are looking to marry their best friend.
Mm,
I think some people are looking for a spouse or a partner that's just honestly doing could just be doing their thing completely separate from the other person's thing. I've seen a lot of relationships like that. Like you have your own thing that you go do. I have my own thing that we go do that I go do. Um, whether it's work or it's hunting or baking or whatever it may be,
mhm.
you have those own things, and they live two separate lives. They come home together. They have a little bit of time together, but there are people that don't spend that amount of time together.
Hmm.
You've never seen this?
No, I have. I'm just like now you got me questioning my like is that why I'm not successful is because I'm too attached to you.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying there are different types of relationships where people want different things.
This is true. Absolutely true.
So I don't think that everybody wants to marry their best friend. No, I don't believe that.
No, I don't.
I want my spouse to be my best friend.
Yes. I think that's what makes us work so well because we're goofy. Like we 100% when we're together, our guards are down.
I don't want to tell somebody that I kind of know all of my business.
Yeah.
That's me personally.
Yeah. And the thing is like I know whatever I tell you,
So if only
it's not going anywhere.
guess what I'm getting at is if we had a relationship where I did my own thing, you did your own thing, how likely am I going to come to you about all of the personal things? It's
Probably
not
not.
probably not a very likelihood thing. So you're
No.
going to tell somebody that's probably closer to you, which would be like a childhood friend or something like that, everything instead of it being your spouse.
Right.
That I don't really agree with.
I don't either. There are certain things I think that are spousal privileges and some things that are friends privileges.
Yeah.
And I don't
Even if you have known them your entire life.
mhm. Yeah.
It's just not something that you share. But
No. And it's
but
funny
how likely are you to share that with your spouse if you have two different lives?
there's some things that probably get missed. And it's funny because I was going through my videos the other day on my phone and I found one that I actually sent to you when we first started dating, when we first started talking. And I was telling that in that video, and it was a short, like 10-second, 15-second clip that it was like, you know, I just wanted to tell you or explain to you like there are going to be some things that I tell you first, but then go to social media. But I just want you to know that I was just explaining that like some of the things that we talk about or that I even have conversations or ideas about aren't going to go to social media.
Yeah.
And that when you're a personality or a social media personality, or you have a life on social media, or you have such a large following, you're a person that you're with, you have to just identify what's for them and then what's for the world. And so I was just explaining that to you because when we first got together, your following was not what mine is now.
No.
And you were just starting to understand the persona that
It didn't
is
bother me.
no, it didn't bother you, but and there was, I don't know what the pretext was because it was in my video reels, not in the text message thread. But
Yeah.
it was like, even at that point in our dating life, I was like, hey, just so you know, there's going to be stuff that's for the world and stuff that's just for my person.
Yeah.
And that's important.
It is important.
But
You should not take everything out of your house into the public.
no, you shouldn't.
But a lot of people think that everything that's on social media on ours is our entire life, and it's not.
No, it's not at all.
But people truly think that because we put so much out there.
Right.
Like they think they see this pretty box with a bow on it, and that's it. You
People,
get to see what we want you to see.
power of perception.
People should understand that
They
about
absolutely should.
everybody. Like, if you're looking on social media to think that you're going to learn about a person's entire life completely,
Or motives about life.
you're wrong.
100% you're wrong.
You've got half of it.
If that.
Yeah.
If that. Yeah. So with that, like going back to the beginning part of the conversation where it was talking about the ratio, I feel like that ratio where it talks about the 4-to-1, like you should have for every 4 years should be 1 year of
Yeah.
single. That wouldn't have worked for me. I was ready to live my life. But before I jumped into a serious relationship or even thought I was ready to commit to a serious relationship, I went through a lot of counseling. But I was preparing for so my divorce started in 21. I was preparing for my divorce in 19.
Yeah.
So like mentally, like I knew it was coming to an end. And so I was already to the point where I was like, yeah, we're good. We're good. And I think that to that is also not fair to the other party because they felt blindsided because they perceived my lack of interest, meaning fighting, engagement, as, oh, she's content. Like, because we're not fighting anymore, because she's not nagging anymore, because she's not bringing stuff up anymore.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. So,
No, I'm just
no,
done.
just done. Yeah, I reached a point where I was done with the
So,
crying, done with the tears,
you
done
don't
with
have
all
to-
of it.
You're emotionally disconnected.
Yeah.
You've fully disconnected at that point.
Yes.
Once the emotions are gone, it's full disconnect.
Oh, absolutely.
You are
Absolutely.
unsaddled. Don't give a shit. There's no turning back.
Mm-mm.
There's no changing your mind. There's not even a possibility of trying to fix a fucking thing.
No. No. And the other
because you have tried.
Yes. And the other side perceives that as contentment. They're like, oh, that storm, weathered that one. We're good. It's done. Yeah. No. Shit gets silent. That's when you need to worry. Somebody's planning an exit when shit gets quiet.
Yeah. It's usually not at the loud moment.
No. It's not. That's not the loud moment. It's when shit gets quiet. And for me, that
you
was
can
the
actually
case.
work through a fight.
Yes, you can.
If you can work through a fight.
Mm-hmm.
If you ignore it or brush it off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That just leads to the next one and the next one and the next one.
Or the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
And then the disconnect.
Yep. Yeah. So it wasn't. So I can see how, like, for the person who was not ready for the divorce.
I'm just going to sit here and look long.
Okay. The person who, like, gets blindsided by the divorce, I can see how, like, beneficial it would be for them to be single longer.
Yeah.
Whereas
I didn't know if I was going to get in another relationship. I didn't really care for a long time to even think about it.
Same.
So, I don't know. I think there are going to be people that are probably going to feel that way anyways, without having to put a timeline on it.
Right.
But I don't think you should put a timeline on anything, really anything in life.
No.
Honestly, I don't give a shit if it's a relationship or not.
No.
If something's ready to happen, you should do it.
Yeah. And timeline and time in general is irrelative because somebody can make you feel something in a month that you've begged somebody for 12 years to feel. So time to me doesn't have
I really
anything.
just don't like timelines.
I don't.
I really don't.
Especially vague ones.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I don't like timelines because honestly, there's too much life to miss out on sticking to a timeline.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like,
go live your life and see what happens.
Exactly. There's just too much.
Because you're not getting out of this life alive.
Well, who says you're going to make it 4 more years?
Alive, human, breathing. Yeah.
Anything.
What's to say you're not going to get
2
wiped
years,
out on the
a year.
freeway or have a heart attack or get
Go live.
or get the next.
If you're ready to go for it.
Mhm.
If you're not, don't. Still continue to live, though. Don't just sit stagnant.
Just don't take your toxicity over to somebody else.
Yeah.
Don't. Just have enough respect for the human race to go, yeah, I'm not good for another relationship right now. I'm not good for another human right now.
Or,
Keep that
or
shit to
state
yourself.
the shit on the front side.
Right. Keep it to yourself. Because nobody.
I'm not looking for a relationship, and this is what I want out of you tonight. Just say the words. It's not hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you have, like, when we first started dating? I don't know, because you stalked me for a little while beforehand, before we talked.
I did stalk you.
Yeah.
Stalker.
You did it respectfully, though.
How do you do it disrespectfully? That was a dumb question.
It wasn't a dumb question, but it's a legit question. You bombard the person, you intrude their personal space, you send them things they didn't ask for, both virtually and physically.
Some of y'all need to hear this.
There's a respectful way to stalk somebody to get to know them before you actually introduce yourself to them. It's no different than you doing the research when you do a job interview. You can do the research on the person that you're interested in.
I'm kind of weird like that. I have to research fucking everything.
You do.
Because I have to know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it is a thing or a person or whatever.
Yes.
I kind of need to understand it before I get involved with it.
Yeah. So you did some research on me, some stalking on me, but at that point in time, were you ready? Did you know you were ready to get into a relationship, or like?
No.
So what was your point? What was the whole point of you reaching out to me? What did you think was going to happen?
Just see. I don't know.
Like a week, one night, or like?
Never know. Hadn't met you yet.
You were scared to death I was going to throw you on Facebook, though.
No. I just made that comment. That's how I broke the ice.
I call bullshit, but okay.
What were you going to do to me? You don't even know me.
No, but just about anybody that was disrespectfully stalking me.
Well, I'd been watching for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was laughing daily.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew how to approach you.
Yeah.
And what comments to make to grab your attention.
Yeah, this is true. So there for a while, there was the Chronicles of Jenn's DMs.
Yeah.
That were pretty hilarious.
That's what I was watching every day. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, because I mean, I was putting out some really good content, just like goofiness, talking about.
And then she said the word content, and she was saying that I'm putting out really good content. So I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I want to see.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
What am I missing?
I wasn't even missing anything.
No, because there was no dirty content. There was no OF content.
No, but you make it sound dirty whenever you said I was putting out good content.
Yeah. Made you go look, though.
Yeah, me and the rest of the world.
Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. So
yeah,
I think
kind of seems like you were asking for it.
Asking for
everybody to go look.
There was nothing to find.
Putting out good content.
Oh my gosh. There was nothing to find. That's funny. But there for a while there was the Chronicles of Jenn's DMs, and I would just read
what would be on there.
Everything. People love to send you pictures of their business.
What kind of business?
And they'd be like, "Look at my business," and I'm like, "We don't want that. Thank you." That is a.
Was it boys and girls?
Yes. Yes, it was. And no, thank you. I'm good. Like, that is not how you strike up a conversation.
So
And
women think the same as men, that they should both send the business,
yeah, and sometimes it's not the lower business. Sometimes it's just the top half
the upper
business.
business.
Yeah, for women. I don't know. To each their own, I guess.
Check out my chi-chis.
Yeah, look at my chichimangas. I'm good. What am I gonna do with those? I got a pair right here.
I like how you did the whole dance with the accent.
Yeah. You never got any spicy DMs?
I wasn't putting out any good content.
No, really, you weren't. I really could when I did my research on you. But really, honestly, I really didn't do any like seriously. Like I did some research on you, but ultimately, like who we are linked to together by our mutual friend was
You run my
really
serial number?
yeah, it was really just enough. Huh?
Are you running my serial number?
Your serial number? No. You got one of them? Does it come with
Probably.
the warranty?
No.
Oh.
If it did, I'd already be using that sucker. Give me a new back.
Yeah. I think go enjoy life. Like if you're gonna go through a divorce, which is hard, find the joy. Do whatever the hell makes you happy.
Why is the heat on again?
It is very warm in here at the moment.
Jeez.
She probably got cold out there. I have to put clothes on Milo.
He's just on. It's low. It's on 68.
Mm.
Sorry.
You're okay. So yeah, I'm just in these divorce groups, just reading what other people have been through, their perspectives, their mindsets, just to
You just hanging out in
understand.
there reading?
It strolls across my Facebook feed, and I just not that I'm in there for the drama because there's some of it where I'm like, I snooze that person for 30 days or 60 days or whatever because I'm just like, I can't with your situation. I can't with you. Brings a lot of peace. Did you know that you could do that? You can snooze somebody if you're sick and tired of seeing their
Yeah, I
content.
did. I found that out recently.
I very much like that option. I've snoozed some people. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, take a break.
Yeah, I'm good.
Doesn't it say take a break too?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Snooze that person for 30 days.
These chairs over here look nice.
You like those there?
Yeah, they're not in the shot and they look nice.
Thanks. I didn't really know what to do with them, so
So we got 3 different scenes
3 sets, yeah.
all in one spot.
Mhm.
I have this one, I have that one, and then we have that one.
Yeah.
And whenever I point my finger this way on the screen, it goes the other way.
Uh-huh. So we've got the chairs, and then we've got the sofa, and then we've got this sofa.
Yeah.
And I've started a Bible study because I talked to you about just not having a circle of friends.
Well, that's tonight, isn't it?
It is tonight. Yep. So I started a Bible study that's virtual, that's just for women because, I'm not looking to have any more business come my way.
No more men business?
Mm-mm.
Only women business?
Mm-hmm. No. No, it's nice. It's really helped my mental state. It's really helped my mental perspective. I've held myself accountable. I started it, so it's my group, and it holds me accountable because these women are counting on me to host it every single Tuesday at 8:30.
You better be there.
Yeah. And so I use
And
this.
if anybody wants to join,
Yeah.
you know how to get rid of
Yeah. So shoot us a
get
message
ahold
and we'll send you over the invite to join the little community group that we've got. I think right now there's 30 women in the group, and some nights some women can make it and some women can't. So really, I mean, it cycles anywhere between 6 and 3 of us that come every Tuesday, and it's virtual, so you can be from anywhere. You can be literally anywhere and join in.
Yeah, so what's your favorite part about it
The
so
pod
far?
so far, my favorite part of it, so we're going into is this week 4, I think?
I think so.
I think we're going into week 4. The positivity and the mindsets. There's no negative talk. There's lots of prayer for each other, lots of lifting people up. You know,
So can you kind of give us the highlights of what happens on this?
yeah. So I don't know, about a month ago, because it took me 2 weeks to actually start the group when I did this. So I would say maybe 5 weeks ago now, or 6 weeks ago, just been praying really hard, felt super lonely and lost. And I just reached out and I was like, you know what? Man, I wish there was a Bible study I could do. And then God's like, why are you not good enough? And I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm not good enough. Send me a Bible study group. Well, we had this small argument, God and I. And ultimately, I was like, okay, I'm going to find a Bible study. And so I did. And the first one that came up was authentically, I can't even remember, but ultimately, the gist of the Bible study is being authentically you and accepting yourself to be the authentic you and version of yourself because God makes no mistakes. And so every week we read a chapter of the Bible study and we do the workbook that goes with it. And I ordered it off of Amazon and just said, you know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna figure this out. What are you doing?
I just thought of something I've got to do while it's on my mind.
Oh, okay.
It's fast. Keep going.
So we meet up. We did like a initial meetup where it was just all of us, just like, hey, what's our backstory? You know, why are we doing this? Because I didn't want anybody to feel awkward going into this Bible study. I thought like a virtual meetup would be really cool, and that's what we did. I came in my jammies. I had, because it's 8:30 and everybody's guard was down. Like we were just so happy that we found just a genuine network of people. Loved it. Loved our genuine network of people and our women, and we just talked. And so now, like, there's prayer requests going on in the group. There's like, hey, I took this away from the book. I took that away from the book. We've prayed for each other. And we're just learning how to authentically accept us and to stop taking the worldly view on of who the world thinks we should be and just being who we are. And, how can we follow God and be more close with Jesus and God and be a Jesus version and be a godly version of ourselves when the world is telling us, no, 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 you should do this, dress this way, be this way, this, and this. And it's like, God makes no mistakes. Like, He made you to be a person that wears dark clothing. He made you to be a colorful, bright sunshine person. He made you to be a speaker. He made you to be a follower. Like, okay, so what if the world is saying you need to be a leader? No, God made me to be a follower because I'm good at X. Like you don't have to fall into the worldly trap of being who the world thinks you should be. You can fall into the trap of you are who God created you to be and own your attributes. And you can love who you are and still not love all of the things you've ever done and
Yeah.
not love all of the things that you do. And that we get caught up in the fact of like, oh, well, can't be perfect anymore because of X. No, like I am the most sinful person. I have done things. I have done so, but I take all that to God and I pray and I'm like, man, here's my confessional, Lord. Like, here it all is. And He's like, I know. I was there. I was with you. I still love you. Like, and we should all live with that much grace. And it's really changed my mind and my perspective. And we had a huge godly moment in our house. And it's going to make me cry thinking about it. But we had a very huge godly moment in our home. How many weeks ago? 2, 3, 2?
What are we referring to?
2 weeks ago, I think it is now. We had a huge godly moment. So with us being divorced and other parties and other people being involved,
yes.
um,
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I was in the kitchen at the island. For some reason, I'm liking standing to eat right now. So I was standing and eating, and I was like, I even verbally said out loud, God, you're not funny. And you were like, excuse me? And I was like, he's freaking hilarious. He thinks he's really hilarious. And I don't want to tell you this. And you're like, tell me what? I said, I just don't want to tell you. I don't. Because it was against everything that I had spoken.
And I said, then don't tell me. And you said, but I have to.
But I have to. And so ultimately what it was is that your ex-wife, I was like, she had shared with you that she was struggling and having a hard time with specific things, and that's not my story to tell. And struggling with some specific things, and I said, and really being convicted to live my life more in a Christ-like version, which is to live with more grace and live with more understanding. I said, why don't we invite her for Christmas? And you went, excuse me?
Excuse me?
I was
You
like,
want to do what?
mm-hmm. Yeah. And so then I explained my viewpoint and where my heart was and what was happening. And I said, that did not come from me. And I am just as pissed off by it as you are right now. Because that literally did not come from me. And it's against everything that, because one, this is the first Christmas in 3 years that we've had all of our kids. Two, this is Miles's first Christmas. And I did not want any of it messed up. And so for him to be like, no, no, check yourself. So I said that to you. I said, I just want you to know that this is, and so we did. We ended up inviting her to Christmas. And then she came to the Christmas party at the kids' school. I was hosting because I'm a room parent on our side of the hallway. She attended the one across the hallway because our kids are in two separate classrooms. And yeah, which is totally cool. But then, she had to spend some extra time with him that day. She attended the party, and I was like, hey, Jason said you were having a hard time. Why don't run off so quick. Like this can be a safe place for you, just not some place that can be abused. And setting the boundary and setting the expectation, but opening up my heart and living with grace because I could be in that situation that she's in. And in the Bible study that I just read is it's like be easy where you judge people because then those judgments will become what you live. And so it just reconfirms like give more grace.
It's a very true statement.
It's a very true statement. And so like that honestly opening up our home to her, and then I got the opportunity to pray with her and pray over her and her heart. And honestly, I can tell you 2 years ago that would have never happened.
2 months ago, that would have never happened.
Yes. Mhm. Yep. So just living with more grace and understanding, and it's really helping healing the hatred that I had in my heart, healing the hatred that I had in my mind, and healing the hatred that I had felt in my body for a really, really, really long time because that's not genuinely who I am, is filled with hate. And so this Bible study and being with this community of women is really helping heal all of the past traumas and letting it go and living with more grace. And like I said, like, like the Bible study says, it's like don't pass judgment on people because then you will live those judgments. And it's so true.
Yeah, yeah.
And you only get to judge somebody like you just don't get to judge somebody, but
People do.
they do.
Do it all day long.
Yeah.
They want to look at something and then go, okay, this is how I feel about it.
Yes. So, I
Kind of like you should wait 4.5 years to get back into a relationship.
mhm. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. It just really helps me live with more grace in my heart. And I'm really going back to more understanding. I don't know.
yeah,
But yeah, you definitely can't judge where somebody's coming from in that aspect of healing. Um and you got to be honest with people and heal yourself. And if you're not healed, be honest with the person that you're going into a relationship with of like, hey, I'm not healed.
yeah. So that's one new thing for 2024, Bible study.
Yep. Bible study.
What's another new thing for 24?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to. What are you referring to?
I'm just wondering if you have anything.
Oh, I made a vision board that I need to print out for some of my goals. I would like to get to where, so one of the big things that you and I had talked about, I don't know if this is going to happen this year or not. I would like it to, but we'll see. Getting me to be a stay-at-home mom
Yeah.
is a big goal for 2024 that we're hoping we can put in the work in 2024 and that will happen in 2025.
Yeah. One of my goals is to have more outside of the house family time, not involving sports.
Oh, yeah, because that's pretty much yes. Yeah.
Like us going somewhere and doing something, camping, fishing, whatever,
Mhm. Yeah.
hiking.
Yeah. I
Don't care.
wrote did I put him in here or did I put him somewhere else?
I really like that one trail that we went to. Where was that
Yeah.
at? Hazel?
Yeah, Eagle Mountain Lake, I think.
Yeah, that was Eagle Mountain.
Yeah.
Wasn't that? That wasn't Hazel.
No.
What?
It was Lake Worth, I think. No.
Lake Worth is a different lake.
It is a different lake. Eagle Mountain. It's I
Eagle
forget.
Pass? Is that what it is?
I can't
Eagle Pass,
remember.
Texas. So another new thing for 24 for me is I'm going to get back into the roofing industry.
You are.
Yes, I are. So if you're a business owner anywhere in the United States and you have a decent sized roof,
We can help you.
let me know.
Yes. That is true. Um
Yes, I said anywhere in the United States. National Roofing
Mhm.
Company.
another thing, another resolution for 2024. One of the big things that you and I talked about in our relationship is I got hung up. So October, November, December, mindset wise, was trash for myself. I got hung up and stuck on the fact of like I have to live this hell for another X amount of years. And then you
It's not even X amount of years. It's the rest of our lives, honestly. As long as you have a child, somebody else, you are going to always have that person in your life.
right, but I'm talking about like the whole like the yes, that, but it's like at the same time, like to a point, you get to just let that go. Like at that point, when I'm talking about the court order and the courts fucking being involved. That's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
and then you also have the way of choosing a way out of that. Like, I want other people to understand that you don't have to have a court order in place in order to move on with your life. You can make an agreement outside of that with the other person,
Mhm.
potentially. Some won't be able to,
No,
but some will be able to.
right. But I'm talking about like in my situation where my head was, what happened with what's happening with me, because that's all that I can speak on.
Yeah.
That like I was stuck on the fact that it's like I don't know, like I don't want to live this life of 8 years of hell anymore. Like when people
Yeah.
tell you that when you divorce an abuser, the abuse doesn't stop, it gets worse, is not an understatement. It's not an exaggeration. It's 100% the truth.
Yeah.
If you are divorcing a high conflict person, a narcissistic person, someone who literally hates the fact that you force them to get divorced so much that they want to inflict the amount of hate that they have on you on a daily basis, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You
And
know, it's ironic about that whole situation is that person is not the person that initiated the divorce, but yet they're filled with so much hate.
they are. Yeah.
So I find it very ironic that they're so like against moving on whenever they are the ones portraying all of the nasty shit.
Yeah.
It just honestly makes zero sense to me
Same. Yeah. Like
because you would think the person that's filled with the hate is the one that filed all of the stuff.
no. No, they hate that they hate that you shined the light
But the
on
person that typically
everything.
files it is the one at most peace because they've just let it go.
Yes. And I did.
And the other person didn't.
Mm-mm.
And they're hung on to the things that they didn't let go of, but they are the ones that provided all of the reasons for you to let go.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, it's very confusing and it's very overwhelming, but like and so I got, like I said, I got stuck the last 3 months of the last year, and I was just like, "I don't wanna do this anymore." Like, I was really believing all of the hate speech that was coming in on the daily,
You were.
um, from all of it, and
Well, as
ultimate
much as I can try to talk you out of trying to not believe it, you're still go back to that.
Yeah, I do
Don't know
sometimes.
why,
I know.
and I can't tell you why.
Um, I then there was this mind shift change that happened, that was like, "No, we only have 7 years." How fast did the last 2.5 go? We only have 7 years left of this.
Yeah.
And I went, "Okay, we've got 7 years." And there was a lot more to the conversation, but in that, it was like, "Okay, well, what's our main goal? Where do we wanna be in 7 years?" And we both went, "We don't wanna be in Texas. We don't wanna end
Yeah.
here." And so it was like, "Okay, the next 7 years, what states do we wanna visit that we potentially wanna move to?"
Yeah. Well, there's got to be some further investigation. Like, I thought I wanted to go to Colorado until they said that nobody there could vote for Trump.
Right. They took him completely off the ballot.
It's so stupid.
You know the last
Evidently, there's a couple of other states.
Did you know the last time that happened, a civil war actually initiated? And you know the president that they did that with, that they took him off the ballot and said certain states couldn't vote for that president? Lincoln. Do you know after Lincoln was the Civil War broke out? Yeah. Interesting. History repeats.
It does. It does quite frequently.
It does, yeah. So my mindset has shifted to the excitement of
It's only 7 years instead of it's, oh my God, 7 years.
right. It shifted to now we got 7 years to find out where we wanna live.
Yeah.
And with that, it was like, okay, well, in those 7 years, Miles is gonna be 8. We're gonna get to take this kiddo who's 8, who's still in elementary school, and give him 2 parents who love each other. We're gonna be able to give him a fresh start, and we're gonna be able to give him experiences. Like, he is going to get to live a completely different life than these kids have gotten to live.
Mhm.
And that to me excites me because
Mhm.
he doesn't have the drama of 2 parents that can't get along. He doesn't have the drama of packing a suitcase or a bag every other weekend or every other week.
Yeah. You're making me think.
About what?
Did you ever, while you were in your last relationship, at some point think that there was nothing wrong with your relationship and all of that was just completely normal and fine? And this is what your kids are supposed to see as parents?
No. I was
So
always trying to change and manipulate our relationship.
you were?
I was. Always
You were
trying
trying to
I
change it?
was always trying to change and manipulate our relationship because there was alcohol involved in the relationship from the get-go, and the negative effect on that person who had the alcohol was horrific.
Or both people having the alcohol?
At the exact same time, no, because I had to be responsible.
So there was no time in your relationship whatsoever where you thought, this is how I want to raise my kids. This is what I want my kids to know as parents, like you're talking about for Miles.
Mhm.
You never felt that in your entire relationship.
No. You?
I think so, at some point, because I wanted to have a child
Right.
so badly that we did in vitro
Yeah.
because I wanted it. Yeah, the alcohol wasn't as severe on the front side as it was on the back side of that relationship. So yeah, at some point, I do feel like I was trying to set and build the stage of what I wanted my son to grow up in. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to finish growing up that way
No. No, no, not at all.
because, like I said, as time passed, it grew into a bigger, stinkier, more drama filled situation as time grew, right?
Yeah.
But as we were building to a certain point, absolutely. I thought I was doing all the right things. I really saw myself that way, that I felt like I was doing all the right things in order to build something that was an empire.
Yeah. But at that same time, but that same token and notion, let me put my perspective in on that. I was being told that I was never doing anything right. I wasn't working hard enough. The house wasn't clean enough. I was constantly trying to change myself to be loved, which is the whole premise of starting this Love Yourself Authentically Bible study, because it was, if I work hard enough, he'll love me. If I do the right things enough, he'll love me. And so, yeah, I was always trying to change, always trying to change, because I wanted to, if I did something, he would love me how I want to be loved. Maybe he'll love me the right way. Maybe I'll get a birthday present. Maybe I'll get a birthday cake. Maybe he'll play me a surprise birthday party. Maybe, like, all of those tokens and actions, like, showed that they would love me. Like, maybe he'll plan an anniversary trip. Maybe he'll upgrade my wedding band. Maybe he'll, and I know all of this sounds materialistic. Maybe he'll tell me that the house is finally clean. Or maybe he'll say, "Hey, I've noticed how tired you are. Let me have the kids so you can go take a nap." Like, that never happened. None of that ever happened.
How many of these questions do you ask yourself about me?
None.
And why?
Because they happen. You just genuinely and authentically love me, that fills my heart and soul, that I have never had from a child or from a previous relationship. There's no stipulations. I had to the time that we got married, we got married, to the time that we got into a relationship, to today, like, I never knew what unconditional love was. There's not a condition to your love for me. It's literally how you would love your child. There's no condition. "Oh, I don't love you unless you play baseball. I don't love you unless," no, like, your
No.
child is born and you love them. And I literally get the joy and peace of walking around knowing that so long as I do not cause you any type of emotional damage, like have an affair or step out on our relationship or physically hurt you, or, obviously there's boundaries, right? And we know what those boundaries are for each other, that so long as I don't cross those boundaries, you literally unconditionally love me.
Yeah.
And you say that like it's a huge deal. It's a really big deal, because God is really the
That's how it's
only,
supposed to be.
that is how it's supposed to be. But to me, it's like in the Bible, that was the only time I had ever learned about unconditional love. Because even my parents didn't unconditionally love me.
Right.
So yeah, and I even ask you all the time, like, where did I learn how to be a mom? Because all the things that I do for my kids, my mother didn't do for me.
Yeah. It's just instinct.
I guess. I mean, she didn't. There were no birthday parties.
You don't
There,
have to learn it.
there was no.
You don't have to learn how to be a good person to be a good person.
Yeah, yeah.
You can be a good person. You can be
Mhm,
a mother.
mhm.
You could be a provider. You could be whatever you want. You
Right.
don't have to
And I never
be
saw,
taught necessarily how to do those things.
right. And until I got into my relationship, until I got into my side of the relationship with you, or our relationship, I never understood or saw myself as a generational curse breaker or a generational cycle breaker. And I am. Like, I have literally completely severed ties with the people who only love me on condition. Um and who can't just have a genuine relationship with me. So, um and I just want that for my kids. Like, I genuinely want to have a relationship with them. And our kids will even tell you, they're like, "No, like, mom gets the real version of me. Mom gets 100% me." You know why? Because she doesn't care what I wear. She doesn't care if I brush my hair. She doesn't care. Like, she just doesn't care. She knows that, yeah, if it gets to a point, she's going to help me walk through that. But I just get to be me.
Yeah.
And I think I'm able to
I
do
don't
that.
mind making them do things because I'm
Oh,
going to make them do things.
yes. No, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, they spend so much time in the living room because they get to just be themselves.
They should.
Mhm. Yep.
If you had kids to put them in their room or to get rid of them, why did you have kids?
Some people didn't mean to have kids.
Well, then maybe you should have kept your junk where it belongs instead of sending pictures of it.
You're right. Yeah, I agree with that too. But you can't sometimes you can't undo things. I get that.
No, but you shouldn't do things if you don't want things or even take chances.
Yeah.
Things are going to happen.
Mhm.
Be smart enough to know that.
Yes, I agree.
But
I
even if you have kids and didn't want kids, doesn't mean that you shove them in a room or try to get rid of them. Once you have
right.
a child, you now have a huge responsibility.
Very much so. Yes. And you can't, regardless of how much you try, you cannot manipulate them into being what you want. And the more you try to manipulate them into what
That
you
goes the
want,
opposite way.
it does.
I
So,
mean, everybody else was a kid, right?
mhm,
Think about it.
true. Yeah. So I never, and and I think that too, ending my toxic relationship of like constantly having those thoughts in my head of like trying to change my relationship or is this what I want for my kids? Like I always used to say, we're raising daughters. Do you want them to marry you? Because that's what you're teaching them.
And the answer was
I'm not that bad.
that bad.
I'm not that bad.
If you have to describe yourself as I'm not that bad, compared to what?
Yeah.
What are we comparing to?
Well, why are you
Because
comparing at all?
you're comparing if I'm
Yeah.
not that bad.
Right.
As bad as who?
As bad as what? Where's your line? What's your line in the sand look like?
Yeah, that's not a great answer.
No, it wasn't. Not at all. And then, taking a step back and ending that relationship and then giving it some time and then looking at my parents, who my parents are, really solidified some things for me.
Yeah.
So I feel like this Bible study that we're doing is really imperative to healing
So where did
and
you come up
closing.
with this Bible study? Like what it's based around?
I typed in, so Joyce Myers, I love her so much. She speaks in a way that I understand. And I know that a lot of us who have been to church or gone to
What does that
church,
mean? In a like in a Bible sense?
yeah, like she interprets things and places them in a perspective that I'm like, or even a relevance that matter to me. She makes them situational or she puts like a personal story, but not too much of a personal story on it. Whatever it is for her, how she does it, I relate to, I understand. Her pauses are in the right places. She's not condemning you, she's convicting you. And convicting you is where you're like, oh, she makes you want to change versus condemning you where you don't change. You just don't.
You just take it
You
as an
don't wanna be
insult.
yeah, you don't so I don't wanna be condemned, I wanna be convicted because in conviction, there's change, and so I take it to where it's like, I can be changed. I can change, and that's what Jesus and God want is they want change.
You
They
can
don't
change.
yeah,
Anybody can change. You gotta want it.
you have to want it, exactly.
It's just like anything else.
So Joyce Myers, like, I love her so, 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 so much. I think maybe I have been to one of her conferences. Maybe I've been to one. Been many years, and I was probably pretty young when I went, probably in high school. And I probably slept through half of it, if I'm honest. Um, but I follow her on YouTube, I follow her on Instagram, I follow her on Facebook, and she does seminars all the time. She's got YouTube shorts, she all this stuff. She's a really good author too. So I typed in women's Bible studies and Joyce Myers Bible studies, I think is what I've typed in. And this one was the very first one to come up. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me do some research into it. And I read the first because there's a sample view on Amazon that'll give you that you can look
Yeah.
into it. And that's what I looked. I was like, okay, this is it. Like, just if I wasn't meant to do that one wouldn't have come up because she has several. She has several Bible studies. And I'm really curious to find out after this one ends, us as a group, as the women who have been through the Bible study, where do we want to go next? I
Yeah.
am looking forward to that. And then also too, I told them that when we end this Bible study, I do want to have an in-person get together and just to celebrate and break bread together.
Is
And
everybody local?
some of us are, majority of us are. I think the furthest one away that's joined has probably been like north of Denton. And then Irving. We've got a couple in Crowley, one in Joshua, one in Arlington. So everybody so far has been from the DFW Metroplex. Because I did post it in our Burleson like moms group.
Mhm.
I was like, hey. And then now I got a text message today. I got a literal text message today.
A literal.
A literal text message. It was like, hey, my friend and I want to join your Bible study group. I'm understanding correctly. It's virtual and it's every Tuesday. Can my friend get an invitation? Her husband just died in August, and I think this would be great for her.
Very nice.
I'm like, dude, like,
Good job, honey.
I'm not a world changer by no means.
No, but somebody's calling on you to do some things.
Exactly. And I'm here for it. So that it blew me away that I got that message and that they had my cell phone number.
That's awesome.
So yeah. And then the women who were actually who were on the Bible study are also in other, mom groups or Facebook groups, whatever. And they're tagging me and they're like, hey, Jennifer, they'll be like, hey, Jennifer hosts one. And they tag me in their comment. And then I'm like, oh, we would no. And my immediate response is, I would love to have you, even if you don't want to buy the Bible study, at least come and sit with us. Like come and sit with us for one time, see if it's a good fit or see if you feel welcome or whatever. And I'll send them the group invite, and it's literally not, I don't know. It's just something like, how great is it that we're able to make the world so small and then I can meet with so many women and talk. Yeah. And just some of the things that we've prayed over, like, praying over financial situations, praying over finding a partner, praying over a new job interview, like prayed over all of these women. And, when the last part of the last Bible study we did, one of the women, it was her first time and she was talking about her situation and everything. And I just got such a clear vision of, 'cause she's like, haven't found my partner. I'm not partnered yet with anyone. And, I just got a really clear vision of like a man kneeling on his knees and just praying to God and was just like, I need a godly woman. Like, and I told her. And so I instantly stopped the Bible study and I was like, we're going to pray right now because God gave me a vision. And this is what he said, like, your man is becoming ready and your man is looking for a godly woman and he's praying out loud that he's sick and tired of the Instagram women. He's praying out loud he's tired of the Facebook women. Like he's declaring that he knows that he needs and wants a godly woman and he's preparing him. And she was in tears. And I'm just like, I am no one. I am no one. Like that's just the vision that I got. And I shared it with her and we prayed over it and we all like raised our hands, stretched our hands out to her in the whole situation. And I truly believe in that. Like I 100% with every cell in my body believe that her future husband is literally, that was the prayer he was crying out loud. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I know that's going to freak a lot of people out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
People just don't understand.
No, they don't. And we had a conversation the other day and it really, like, I still think about this. We were laying in bed and, so one of the Christmas gifts for the kids was that they've been begging me. So I crochet, I make blankets, I make hats, and I just give them away. Just give them away. If the kids want a blanket, I make them a blanket, but I don't need to keep as many blankets as I make.
We have a bunch.
Blankets are love language for me.
If you need a blanket, we have one. There's 8 right there.
There's a couple quilts in that basket. Yeah. But
you don't crochet a quilt though.
No, I don't. But I do crochet blankets. And every blanket that I've held on to has a special memory or a reason for holding on to it. But
there's even a Valentine's blanket on the couch.
I have seasonal blankets. Yeah, I would like to make a Christmas one, and maybe I'll work on that. Cost money to make blanket though. But so one of the Christmas gifts to the kids was they each got their own yarn and their own crochet needle because they were like, I want to learn how to crochet. I'm like, I can teach you that. We're gonna make scarves. They're like, what? Like, yeah, we're gonna make scarves. And so I sat on the couch with Jax and just sat there and he worked for a good 2 hours on learning. And it's tricky for him. One, I'm right-handed, he's left-handed, right? So there's translation, right? That has to happen,
It's the same process. You just got to go backwards.
which is hard for me to comprehend and
I don't
understand.
know why. I have ADD. It's backwards. Just go like this.
So while he was learning and I was teaching, I was like, I'm gonna make, and then I remembered that I had a pom pom, which I had pom pom. It was off away in my hope chest that I keep all my crochet stock in. And I was like, I went to go get it. And my yarn that I got, I was like, I don't need a scarf. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to wear it. But I need to be able to have a yarn to go with, use while I teach them.
Mhm.
And so I was like, he was crocheting, not really making it far, but he was dedicated and sticking with it. He was so dedicated. Man, for a 10-year-old, I was like, yes, I was so proud of him. Because he was he was determined. He really, 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 really wanted to learn.
How many men have you ever seen crochet?
On YouTube,
No.
in person,
In real life?
no.
No.
Just no.
It wasn't an answer. That would be zero.
Yeah. Just zero. So
Looking for a number,
yeah,
not a no.
zero.
Left.
So I was like, you know what? Because the goal is that I wanted him to be able, because he really wanted to be able to give something and make something for his mom for Christmas.
Yeah.
And
He wants to do everything. Like, there's nothing that he doesn't want to try doing.
Right. Yeah. And I was very much that kid growing up. I wanted to try it all. If I wasn't going to be successful at it, cool, but at least let me try it and fail. And so, do I think he will be successful at it at some point? Yes, I do. But the yarn that he's got is just, we need to switch it out. But that's neither here nor there. So I was sitting there with him and helping him, and I was making it. I was kicking butt on this, working pretty far ahead. And
Yeah, y'all started at the same time and you came out with the product.
I did.
And he has like 4 loops maybe.
Yeah, bless his heart. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this. So I made it really super quick and put a topper on top of it. But ultimately it was a beanie, a crocheted beanie.
Mhm.
And super cute, by the way. I think it's super cute. And so basically I told him, I said, here. I said, look, I said, you help me make this. We made this together. I was teaching you to crochet. He wanted to make something to give to his mom on Christmas, but it just wasn't going to happen. And so I finished up, he wrapped it. He was so excited to wrap that. Oh, that was cute to watch. Watch him wrap it and give it to his mom for Christmas. And then a few days passed and we were laying in bed, and I think you brought it up.
What did I bring up?
You were like, why did you do that? And what was my answer? You don't remember my answer? Man, because some conversations mean more to me than you. You asked me, you're like, so did you do it for you? Or
It don't mean more to you than me. I wouldn't ask the question if it didn't matter.
You're like, so why did you do that? Was that for you? Like, why did you do something nice? What are you expecting out of it? And I was like, well, here's the deal. I have been the kid that wants to give so badly that would wrap up pieces of my tea set to give to my mom, because I wanted to be able to show my love, right?
Mhm.
And in a physical form. My mother, like, I don't remember. There was one instance in my childhood that I can remember being hugged or held. And even in pictures, I'm not sitting on
It's
her
very
lap.
strange, by the way, for everybody that's watching. It's very, very strange for me to understand as well. I know it's going to be hard for everybody else to understand, but it's really that way. A lot of people will go, she's fabricating something. No, I'm going to tell you right now, firsthand, saw it myself. It's really that way. And
So
nobody just wants you to understand that. People don't understand that.
yeah, I'm not making it up. It was my real life. Like, I was not held, I was not hugged, I was not mothered, nurtured, anything like that growing up as a child. And there was
And
only
that's why she was saying earlier she didn't know where she got what she has from about being a mother, because it really wasn't there. Like, No compassion, no nothing.
Mm-mm.
No nurturement. There just nothing.
Mm-mm.
And that's hard for a kid to not have
Yeah.
and not develop some other bullshit in their life, like whether it's, and I'm sure that people have dealt with this,
Mm-hmm.
but the way that they deal with it is probably not in a positive manner the way that you do.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is the people that are dealing with this probably alcoholics, drug addicts, or something because it left that hard of a negative impact on them.
Right. They're seeking something, right? They're seeking that love, that validation, the import to them. We as humans need something to import into us.
You need
And
love.
yeah, absolutely.
You have to have something that's forgiving
Didn't have it.
because you're going to fail. You're going to mess things up. It's part of life. It's part of being a human. You're going to fuck up.
Yeah. So
And you need somebody to forgive you for it.
yeah, didn't have that.
Didn't have that as a child or an adult.
No. Nope. So I
You lived how many years of your life? 36 of them? That way?
yeah. Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
It's very sad for me. Makes me want to cry.
I know, and it makes me laugh because that's all I know how to do is make fun of the situations.
Yes, that's how you deal with
I
things.
I got a really sick sense of humor.
Out of that. That was her negative impact.
Honestly.
Thank God it wasn't drugs or alcohol.
No, not at all. Um, so I was telling you, I was, and I was telling you about my gift from Harley. Harley said, "Hey, I'm sorry this is late." She said, and it's not much, but I made you a card. And she stuffed her only $2 bills, and it's gonna make me cry. She stuffed her only $2 bills inside that card.
We had a long talk. I had a long talk with all of the children, actually,
And
about what they were getting everybody, and that may have triggered what what they did. Whether it did or not, I don't know. Doesn't really matter to me.
yeah.
But I did have an individual conversation with each one of them about what their plans were. And I just asked the question. It wasn't me trying to tell them that they needed to do something for anybody at all. It's just what they took away from it after we got done talking. But they told me, and she told me exactly what she was going to do.
Mhm,
Um, she said that I only have the $2,
mhm,
and I'm going to make mom a card, and I'm going to put the $2 that I have in the card. And I said, okay, that's sweet.
mhm.
But she had told me exactly her plan,
Yeah, and she did that.
and it was very sweet.
It was very sweet, and I still have the card, it's on my nightstand. And so my first initial reaction is, "I don't need your money, kid."
No, but she wanted something tangible, just like you're saying.
Yes.
Um, it didn't matter what it was,
No.
but to her, that was something that she thought that you
Had
could
value.
use.
Yes.
Yes.
That had value, and so she gave me those $2 bills and the card, and my initial, knee-jerk reaction was to be like, "No, no, 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 like, I don't need the money." But then, I immediately reverted back to the time that I remember wrapping up my tea set, which is actually in the top of her closet, by the way, and just being like, I just over exaggerated, "Oh my gosh, this is the sweetest, I cannot believe this is the
Mhm.
best." Like, I just over exaggerated, and the joy that that kid felt.
Mhm.
She was not minimalized because it was only $2, which,
Can see them light up.
oh, yeah, and so I didn't min
There's so much grace in watching that happen.
Mhm. I didn't minimalize it. So I took, you know and so then I was like, and so then I told that part of the story to you first,
Mhm.
and then you had asked me about the, I wanna call it a bonnet, it's not a bonnet. the
The
beanie,
beanie?
the beanie that I made. And you're like, why did you do that? And I said, well, because I've been that kid that wanted to give and couldn't. And then to that, when my kids aren't with me for Christmas, I feel like crap.
Mm-hmm.
And how great would it be that when he goes to her,
As a mom, you
he
feel like crap.
has that same look and that same joy that Harley had when she gave me that card.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted that for her and for him. And you just snuggled me, you snuggled me even harder because you said, the size of your heart impresses me. Because it was genuine. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even want the recognition for it. And she sent me a text message and told me thank you. And I didn't reply to the text message because it wasn't from me. It was me pouring into the child so that he could have a connection with his parent.
Yeah.
And
It's still from you.
it was obviously relationship and foundation building for all of us. But Jackson and I sat side by side and crocheted all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And he still ended up, even though he didn't finish his product, he still walked away with the product of like, one, I got to spend that time with him, right? Of working on a product together and time together. And then he also had the working on stuff. So what are you doing?
You made me think about something.
Oh goodness.
This was also in the bag that he gave to her.
What is that?
The crochet needle and a battery to his
Drone?
his drone.
Oh my goodness. Bless his heart.
I'm like, make sure you send that stuff back home because he's gonna need that.
That's like when we came home from your family Christmas, we had a bag full of
All kinds of stuff. There were babies on the floor putting stuff in bags.
yeah, so babies were excited to give stuff.
Yeah, they're like, oh, here you
Here
go.
you go.
You're gonna have this, and you get to take this home. And JC has nothing left at her house.
Right. No, that's not that's not the case. She has lots of stuff left at her house. But we came home with stuff that was I was like, this stuff looks used. I don't think this was intended as a gift. But it was cute. Where you going? Oh, your pants. But yeah, I remember that conversation. And those moments like us, those moments really mean a lot that when we have those conversations and that communication building that we talked about in the beginning and how communication builds a relationship is like you initiated that conversation of like, so why did you do that?
Yeah.
And
It's important to have conversation. It's important to have communication. It's important to continue to think about things that are being done by the other person and recognize them. Those things are important.
Yeah. And I didn't take any of that to social media. I didn't brag about any of it. I didn't say, oh,
No, there's a lot of shit. Like I said, there's a lot of shit that happens that nobody sees.
right. So the last part of my Bible study actually talks about how being quiet when doing the good. God blesses you when you do the good and you're quiet.
And there shouldn't be. There's no reason to brag about it. Honestly,
No. And
there's
I'm
no
not
reason to take it anywhere. There's no reason to share it with anybody else.
I wasn't I don't
I mean, sometimes it happens without like without trying to do it on purpose, without trying to brag about it. It just happens, and everybody gets to see it. That's just a coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might think it's bragging. People might think it's bragging. It's just happening
Yeah.
in that moment.
Yeah.
And by chance, you're being able to see it.
Yeah.
It's like this. This is happening as it's happening. None of it was premeditated or thought out. Or
No, because we were in the garage and you're like, what are you going to talk about? And I was like, I don't know. It's been so long since we've done podcasts. Whatever happens is going to happen. You're like, yeah, I know, but what's the topic? Or we doing business or personal or blah, blah, whatever. And I'm like, nah, it's going to be what it's going to be.
well, this podcast is everything.
It is. So we're having a lot of positive shift and change happen in our home. And I really believe that it starts with me and it starts with me living with grace. And
I have something to do with that.
Yeah.
It starts with us individually.
Mhm. Yep.
Our entire house starts with us because we control every part of it. We control the outcome
Mhm.
of a lot of things because of what trickles down.
Yeah.
So if we want our kids to come home and feel like they're in a toxic environment, we can create that, or we can create a positive environment.
Right. Yeah.
But it does start with us.
It does. It absolutely does. And their kids, we've got.
Well, it starts with God.
It does.
But then it starts.
And we've
It
started.
starts from us.
We've done the work to find a church that they feel comfortable in. I'm still adjusting to the church.
I am too. I'm excited to go this week. I don't know when we're going to be able to go during the week, but I would like to.
Yeah. Me too.
Because we haven't done that service yet. And at the old church, it's different. I don't know how it is on the new church, but at the old church, the weekday service is different than the Sunday service, and almost like the weekday service better than Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's nothing to say that we can't do Wednesday at one church and Sunday at another.
I agree.
But I
think the week time, the day, during the week service at the other church was just like more motivating to get to the weekend and trying to motivate individuals instead of talking about whatever else the weekly Sunday topic is, you know?
Yeah. And I would, and the hard part is it's like, I just don't want to be a part of a lukewarm church. Like, I don't want to be lukewarm.
Yeah.
So
Need motivation.
yeah. And
that's why I want to try out the weekday one, because at the other church, it was the weekday was the motivation time.
Mhm.
So I want the motivational.
Yeah. And I like the idea that this church has got some really good small groups. Really curious to find
Yeah,
out.
do they meet during the week?
They meet at all kinds of different times. Yeah, they do meet during the week. And then I also think that there's opening for them to expand because they've got one that's a crochet group. They've got like all kinds of different groups. So it's like,
Oh yeah, you were going to join that.
yeah, it's
Did you?
No, I need to. I kind of like we kind of jumped off into this church right at the beginning of holiday season, and so now that like all of that's passed, I'm like, okay. But then we're fixing to jump off into sports season.
I like the holidays, but I hate the holidays at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
There's for so many reasons. It's just dead. Like
Work.
There's nothing.
Nobody thinks about work anymore. It's
everything
like,
is dead.
It's like people just
whether
go
it's work
flatline.
or just people thinking in general. They're just done.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. And then it's like,
and then the first week, 2 weeks after the holidays, the same way.
Yeah. Everybody's trying to get their feet back underneath them from not being in
From
there.
not thinking.
From Halloween to January. Just throw it out the window.
Yeah, honestly. And the first week, like I said, nobody's doing anything either, but they are behind the scenes. They're just prepping for what they're wanting to start and all of the
Right.
new things that they want to do.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you do this last week? So that the first week of the new year is ready to rock and roll.
Because it was Christmas.
I know.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. I know. I'm impatient.
You are. Indeed. It is what it is. Yeah.
At least I know. Know that about myself.
Yeah. That's okay though. But that's where we are, like mind shifts are happening and changing. Like, we are excited that we've got a list of states that we want to go look at and check out
I'm
and
excited about that.
travel
What
to.
do you think the first thing is going to be? You know what I want to do?
What?
Whitewater rafting.
Really?
Yeah.
I
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, not at all. Only when it warms up. I really want to watch it snow from a balcony.
Yeah. It's pretty peaceful. It's a peaceful thought. Mine's pretty chaotic.
Yeah, yours is like 100% chaos, gonna die, water in your face, paddle, 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 like.
And yours are like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's two different minds.
yep.
I mean, I will partake in yours, and you are going to partake in mine. But that's like it's such a huge shift. Polar opposites right there. If that doesn't say our personality types, I don't know what does.
I'm just like, ah! She's like, da, 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 da.
Look at that snowflake. How big is that one? That one's pretty. And you hear the crunch of the animals on the snow.
Ah!
Yeah. No. Mine's like, shh. Yeah, you're out there for 2 minutes. Okay, what's next?
No, I think it'd be fun.
On the patio watching snowflakes?
Yeah, that too.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
There's something at the door again?
There is. So I'm excited to try out different states, different activities.
I might have to edit at 124.
Okay.
Or 125.
Okay.
Just need to say that out loud.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to I love that I feel like we're writing our new destiny and where we're going to end up, and that here in Texas is not the end, because literally after we're done with these divorce decrees, there's nothing holding us to this state.
Bye.
Nothing. They can come with us. They can stay here, like whatever they want to do. That is so freeing to think about.
Yes.
And we have so many different places to try out to see where we end up.
Yes. Something tells me they're going to want to go.
Oh, 100%.
That's something new. It's a whole new place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is a whole new place, whole new experiences, whole new everything. Yeah. So.
And I'm not about like buying this new house in whatever state to have like a room designated to every one of them. They're just going to have to get their own place to stay.
Oh, I love how you think you can say that with a straight face.
They can get a tent.
Yeah. You know what I'm all about? I am all about having a big enough house that has like little mini houses outside. So like each of them can have their own mini cabin.
That's fine. They can build that shit themselves.
Yeah, just mini cabin. And then when you guys want to come home for the holidays, you want to stay, you want to bring your family, you want to bring your boyfriend, whatever. Like you guys have your own space. Like granted, the big house will have the big kitchen and all of that, but out there you could have like a mini fridge, a toilet, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You can have your space outside of ours.
Yeah.
You've grown up that way, so.
What do you mean?
Our children, they have their space.
They do have their own spaces, yes. Yeah.
For a reason.
They do. But I mean, I'm picturing land, I'm picturing really tall ash trees, mountains, hiking. I've gotten, and that's another Facebook Live that you and I are going to do probably here in just a little bit, talking about what's going to be happening for.
Did you say live?
We'll do a Facebook Live.
We're going live.
Not on here, probably on my phone, but we'll go live.
On your phone.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about the what's going to be happening in March.
What's happening in March?
Oh gosh. I talked to you about this last night.
I spoke to you about this last night.
I did. I brought the topic. I brought the plan. I brought the timeline. I brought it all to you last night. And you're like, yeah, honey, do it. I support you. I think you should definitely do that.
I think it's because you gave me a timeline. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question so that you'll say it on camera.
Yeah, I danced my way right around that one.
And I danced my way right back into it.
So,
So what's happening in March?
well, it needs to start with what? So January.
What are you doing right now in preparation for something that's going to happen in March?
I am training and I am changing my diet.
You're dieting?
Not dieting. I'm just changing my diet. It's not a diet by no means.
Oh, it's like you need to do healthy stuff?
Yeah, like it's back to like no sugars, no sugars. Can do the artificial sweeteners, but no real sugars. So like just like sweet tea that you'd get at a restaurant out, sodas out. But
My tea
yeah,
out.
anything like that. So that's out. Like, and then the additional things that I would go back to the pantry for out. This is
Which
getting
means unless I pick it up off the shelf, it's not coming into the house.
right.
And even if it does come into the house, it might go into the trash, which is dumb.
That's not true. I haven't thrown anything away.
You wanted to get rid of that pie. So
I asked you. Oh my gosh,
3 days.
You ate on that pie for
it was
week.
good.
Yeah, it's a Miss Jessica pie.
I know.
You like Miss Jessica's pie?
Don't tell her.
Miss Jessica makes a really good pie. So I'm getting back to March. I will be doing my first triathlon since Miles has been born. This is this is my third attempt to do a triathlon. So I tried to do a triathlon shortly after he was born, was not there. Tried to do a triathlon in October. Financially just couldn't make it make sense. And then also too with like kids and like logistics and stuff, it didn't work. But now I think that we've gotten more than enough planning and it means so much to me that we're going to be launching it to the public. I'm going to be
So you know that you have to plan things out. It can't be just like short notice because
yes.
there's too many things that revolve around short notice.
Exactly. So
But planning it out, it should be no problem.
yeah, it should be no problem at all. So I'm looking forward to it. And it's January 18th it's been a year since my cardiac arrest and seizure.
And
Miles's birthday.
yes.
Yes. So yeah, that's exciting.
It is exciting.
So I worked really hard to get it to where I could work out in that garage.
It looks nice.
It looks very nice. I spent 3 days hauling stuff up to the attic, putting things away.
No, I could work out in the garage.
Reorganizing stuff, listing things for sale. Like I did a lot of work out in that garage and got it even to where you could even then get out there to move some of the things that you wanted to move and put them in places where you wanted to put them. And so the before and after is shocking, actually, I think. And that everything has a place now and the kids can easily get to stuff that's theirs. We can get to stuff that's ours. But I have a really, really nice stationary training bike that I have used and I'm really good at training on it and have gotten up to where I've done I think the longest ride I've done is 25 miles on my stationary bike. And the triathlon's only 12 miles. So I know that if I can train to do at least double what the mileage is for the triathlon, I'm good. So anytime I'm training for a triathlon, and because it's a swim bike run, so if I can swim a mile, I'll make the 600 meters. If I can bike 24 miles, I'll make the 12. And if I can run, jog, walk 6 miles, I know I can do the 3.1. That's my training aspect on thought process for training for my specific triathlon. So right now, last night I did a 6-mile bike ride. Definitely felt it in my legs and my hips. Tonight I'll do 8 miles and then sat in the sauna. I typically don't train for the swim. I've been a swimmer my entire life, really good at it. And with it only being 600 meters, I know that I just got to make it through the swim.
I've been hearing about this swimming person since we got together. I've not ever seen you swim.
Yeah.
Taking to the lake, I've not seen you swim.
That's not true. I got in the water when we went.
Pool. You didn't swim like everybody says you does.
Yeah, that's not
everybody
true.
says you was a dolphin.
I am.
I didn't hear you go. Yeah, that
that?
one. Yeah, that one.
Um,
Or jump out of the water.
no. But the swim is really about, it's the only part of the race you use your arms. The rest of it with your runs, legs, and your bike is legs. So for me, the strategy is just use your arms.
Yeah.
Save your lower body for what's really about to come. But it's just and it's a really easy swim. So like you swim down, you go under the rope, you swim the other way. So it's not like you're having to flip. It's not like they're not grading you on your technique, anything like that. You could doggy paddle. You just have to literally make it through the water, which not that hard.
Doggy paddle?
I mean, some people that's how they make it.
Really?
Yep.
For
So
real, for real?
For real. So with that, I'm decided that I was like, hey, it'd be really cool is if I had like an inspirational shirt that I wore that's got inspirational sayings on the back for people, from people to encourage me through the race. And so I've got 3 designs that I worked on last night. So after the live, I'll launch them and have people vote on what the front of the shirt should look like. And then I will put up, if you would if you would love to help me out, because the last thing that I need to purchase for the triathlon is the bike. And if you would like to help me be successful in this triathlon, yeah, inspirational quote on the back or your business logo, whatever you want. And then if somebody wants to buy the actual shirt once it's finished, they'll also have that option too. So you can give 2 options.
Wear it on race day.
I know I'll be wearing mine on race day for sure. Yeah, and be part of my support. But yeah, it's coming up on a year that I literally almost lost my life. And I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to heal and get my body back, get my mind back. And it's really hard too after having that catastrophic of an event mentally and then physically to come back from.
Yeah.
That was on top of everything that I was already facing, like divorce wise, parents wise, work wise, all of that. And then that happened. And it was like literally my entire world fell apart. The only thing that stayed was Miles, you, and the kids. Everything else has pretty much left me. So I'm really excited to do this triathlon and declare my life back as mine, and declare success.
Yeah. You scared me.
I scared you?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
When you were in the hospital, you scared me.
Mm.
But no more of that. No more scaring me.
No more scaring you.
Mm-mm.
I don't plan on it.
You didn't plan on that.
No. Nope. I think it was just the amount of stress that I was under, just like mental, physical stress. Not because my body, I think, felt like my body held the pregnancy really well. It was just the external components of the stress that we were going through at the time.
Yeah. I think your body handled it pretty well. We have a pretty gorgeous son.
Absolutely, we do. He's so cute. He still refuses to say mama to this day.
He has said it a couple of times.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
Mm-mm. I think
you're making. I think for at least 2 of them.
You think you're making it up to make me feel better?
No, he said "mama."
Mm-mm.
Yes, he has. You can ask Harley. She was there.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
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 It's happened.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, so I need to go check on dinner. I think this is a really good podcast. I can't wait to get the shorts out of it.
Yeah. It'll probably make, let's see, we're at an hour and 40 minutes?
We'll at least get 15.
Oh, yeah. At least.
At least 15 shorts.
All right. So we're going to do a live.
Yep. Facebook Live.
What's it going to be about? What are we going to talk about? A business or personal or?
It's going to be just about the triathlon information.
Or are we just going to talk?
We're just going to be the triathlon information.
Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Why do you want to do it from your phone?
Seems more personal, and I want to change the setting. I want to be like in the kitchen or something.
We still use a camera.
To do a live?
Yeah. The one that's in there.
I don't think you can go live from that.
Yeah. You open your app and you still connect it to your phone and use that as a camera.
I'm willing to try it, but I think you're wrong.
Fine.
Okay.
I would like to be right.
I know you would like to be right.
Now I'm going to have to figure out how to be right.
Oh my gosh. We're going to spend 45 minutes just on you to be like, I'm right. And then be like, okay, honey.
Okay, honey. He's cute. Where'd it go?
Who?
Disappeared.
Who?
The reel you made with Matt's.
Oh. He was howling.
Where'd it go? Oh my goodness. There it is.
Yes, he was talking. He was
So
so
we've
good.
been really messing with their dog for the past 2 nights. Getting him to talk and howl. And it's very funny. And Jen has a very old dog voice.
I do. I like a basset hound.
Let's hear it.
No, thank you.
Come on.
Nope.
Everybody wants to hear it.
No, I'm not howling for you.
Do
Not
it.
a dog.
Do it.
No.
Why not?
Because I just told you.
He looks like a grown up from there to there.
He does, doesn't he? He was such a puppy then.
Such a child.
But I saw that picture and I was like, wait a minute, we have another backdrop. So now I guess we have a yearly tradition where Max gets his New Year's picture taken every year.
Yeah. There's 2 down.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a good dog.
That was a lot of fun the other night with you and I taking our New Year's pictures. I got so many
I'm surprised
compliments.
this room is as clean as it is, to be quite honest. Because it was a freaking disaster.
Yeah, it was. I got so many compliments on our pictures though.
It all happened right here.
It did.
It may look like it's in a different place.
But it's not.
It's right there.
Yeah.
There's the numbers right there.
Oh yeah, over there on the sofa. 2-4.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
All of our photo shoots are fun.
Don't say it like that, please.
Like what?
Like we were creating OF content.
OF?
Uh-huh.
And check that out at onlyfans.com.
Oh my goodness.
You can look for me.
So I've already told you, like, I'm planning our Valentine's Day shoot. And I think this is just going to be something that we do, that we just, you and us.
You and us?
You and us.
Eunice?
You and me. Yeah, you and us. Eunice?
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 That's your new name,
What's
Eunice.
up, Eunice?
That's your new nickname. Eunice, come here.
Come on, Eunice. Let's go.
That just to put out like, hey, don't, because ultimately my thing behind it was we send it out to people and we're sending it out and we're like, hey, think of us in the coming year of like, this is what we offer. Don't forget, this is what we do. Because sometimes people don't know. People forget, or what we do changes or whatever. So I was like, hey, I think this would be a really good idea.
What we do does changes.
Yeah.
It does changes a lot. You know why?
Why?
Because we have to change.
We do have to change.
Everybody needs change. You guys get to changing. Change your life.
Yes.
Change your underwear.
I hope they're already doing that. Goodness. So so that's what I did. I put it together like a, hey, so I had 2 different messages that went out. One to friends that was like, hey, happy new year, blah, blah, whatever, follow us. And then I put to our business contacts, it was like, don't forget, this is what we do.
I got a service call out of that.
Did we really?
The one that I went to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So good stuff.
Yeah, they were good people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was remembering a while ago that I didn't complete yesterday. Still need to do.
Mm-hmm.
You done with this one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yeah. So we've got the end of January, probably middle of January. Watch our live for, I think it was a really good idea to go live while we did the shoot, just because it was like, had people engaged, like they were having a good time, just like we were.
Yeah.
And it helps having somebody here to press the button on the camera
Yes.
while we work on our posing. So
Yeah, we've got to get it triggered.
I think okay, so yeah, I think the next one that we do, I think we'll do like a kissing booth theme. I think that's cute.
Kissing booth.
Yeah, like an old school kissing booth would be cute.
Hmm.
Mhm. And then I'll have you dress up as Cupid.
Do it.
Yeah, have you dress up like Cupid.
You're gonna wrap me like in
Uh-huh.
toilet paper or what?
Yeah, get you an adult diaper, some fairy wings, and an arrow bow.
An adult diaper.
Oh, you know what? I think you already have the arrow bow.
Probably have the diapers.
Oh my goodness. And on that note, oh,
What?
nothing.
Does it make you uncomfortable?
No, I think this is a really good podcast.
Well, there's a reason why I have adult diapers. I don't wear them every day. I don't wear them at all. But I did for a short period of time.
I almost lost my coffee.
Why?
Because the way that was worded.
Yeah.
Like, I don't wear them every day.
I don't. Sometimes got to. You can put me diaper on.
Oh my
in case I
gosh.
might
Stop
shit
it.
myself.
Stop it.
It happens, you know.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. It's like
People do know,
like ED.
because
Like ED, it just happens. It's okay.
that doesn't happen to me. So I guess so. I don't have a problem in that department.
No, you don't.
But I had surgery and I had to wear diapers for a little while. That's why I have them.
Yes. I wasn't saying that you have them. You said that. So
I wanted to make it clear why I had them.
yeah, this is true.
Word, Big Bird. So that concludes today's podcast on Everyday Moments for Us. On the next episode, you can look forward to us talking more about, well, us. So
yeah,
have a nice day.
Have a nice evening. Or daytime or nighttime, whatever it is. Bye, y'all.